Is there value, and maybe going back to the Rooney example, is there value in knowing what you want before you go in, or is that an impediment, or can that be a handicap, and you end up limiting yourself? There were two roles there. As I'm listening to that story, I'm thinking, gosh, if that agent had just known what he wanted and said, fine, that's enough, instead of being the type that he was, he might have walked out with a signed deal, maybe not, but.
Yeah. I mean, I think as far as competitive negotiation is concerned, it's critically important that you think first about where you want to end. Because by thinking about where you want to end, then the next question is, where do you want to begin that will position you to end there? And so if we had more time, I'd talk about competitive negotiation. The most important move is the very first move. That move will dictate where you end. And so you need to think about where you want to end, and then immediately you have to think about where do you want to begin, because that's the number one thing that will position you to end where you want to end. But you've got to be flexible, because about 80% of negotiations are going to have both competitive and cooperative elements. And sometimes on the cooperative side, when you get down to the interest level, all of a sudden you learn lots of things that completely change your outlook on the deal, or the opportunities that exist in the deal, or ways to resolve the problem, whatever the case might be. And so you've got to be flexible enough to be opportunistic, to where if you see something there that you didn't think about before, you're able to respond to it in a way that creates value for both sides. And so I think you're exactly right in saying you've got to think about it ahead of time, but you've got to be flexible enough along the way to adjust your strategy depending on how the process plays out.